Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I'm sure you've heard this word Ayurveda by now, and I want to say it's become even more prevalent and popular, important after the pandemic that we all suffered through in recent years. And this is mainly because more and more people are looking for just natural alternative ways to staying healthy. Like, how do I live my life so that I don't constantly get sick? And so sometimes that's really easy, and a lot of people like to just sum it up to eat good and, drink more water. But it's a lot more than that. It is a whole method, a methodology to living, and that is what Ayurveda is. But in today's video, I want to discuss, is it a pseudoscience? Like, is it something that challenges the scientific method? And can it actually be something that'll help us? And so let's unravel it together in this video. Hit it. First, it's great to understand what pseudoscience is, right? Pseudoscience really comes down to statements, beliefs, or practices that claim to be scientific and factual, but are incompatible with the scientific method, either partially or entirely. This is what a pseudoscience is. The best examples of pseudoscience are going to be astrology, cryptozoology, paranormal activity tracing like ghost hunting.
I think he can hear you, Ray.
Don't move. It won't hurt you.
Stuff like that. Like, these are all considered pseudosciences because you can't actually prove them using today's scientific method. And I always scratch my head. I mean, have you ever wondered, like, what actually makes something scientifically valid? Comment below. So next we want to discuss what Ayurveda is, right? Ayurveda is a system of medicine that has its roots in India, ancient India, and it's around 5,000 to 10,000 years old. I say 5 to 10, I know that's a wide range because it is heavily debated in the Indian community how old this thing really is. And, but I like to just sum it up to 5,000 years. It's just easier to think of that way. However, it's an old system of medicine. It's been around for thousands of years. Many millions of people have utilized this system to live extremely long ages without feeling the pain or the burden of that age. Like, you can live into your 90s not having joint aches, not having any sort of dementia. There are so many practices, so many things that you can do, incorporate into your life that Ayurveda teaches that can help you live a long, healthy, happy, fulfilling life. It is completely based on the idea that we all have a unique composition of elements within us. When you understand that composition of elements within you, you can kind of understand why certain things make you sick, why certain things make you strong, and then you can continuously work to put in those things that make you strong. It is a holistic system of medicine because it looks at your entire body, mind, body, and spirit from the top down, and then looks at the connection between all three of those to then understand how can you live in harmony? How do you live a long, healthy, happy life into your 90s, into even the hundreds, without feeling the pains, the burdens of, all the things that happen as you age, the wear and tear. And so that's Ayurveda in a nutshell. It's gaining so much popularity here in the Western world, especially after the pandemic we just went through, because more and more people are looking for ways to stay healthy as they age throughout the year, through the changes of seasons. Like, how do you understand yourself? What can you do instead of just popping pills all the time? Sometimes there are better foods you can eat, better ways to sleep, there's better ways to drink water. There's little things that you can tweak, and Ayurveda has some of those tools that you can incorporate to make those changes. But the question on everyone's mind, and the reason why we're here today on this video, right, is Ayurveda a pseudoscience? Like, can it be trusted? So let's talk about Ayurveda in practice, right? Ayurveda is the science that talks about the elemental makeup we each have within us. These elements or breakdown of elements are called doshas in Ayurveda. There's vata, pitta, and kapha. These doshas are a unique combination of two elements, vata being air, ether, pitta being fire and water, and kapha being earth and water. We each have a mix of these three doshas within us. That's kind of what allows us to do the physical activities, be here physically. It allows us to digest food, digest mental thoughts, a whole bunch of things. And so we each need to have all three of these within us. However, the reason why we all look different, we all act different, is because there is a unique composition of those elements within us. And some of us have one or two of those doshas being the dominant dosha.
I understand.
I, for example, am a vata pitta, with the pitta being the highest, a little bit more of, fiery qualities within me. While others, if you are maybe on the larger, thicker side, or maybe have thinner skin, thinner bones, that's a vata. On the thicker side of things would be kaphas, individuals that have more bone density, that are able to, they just have more structure. Question for you, what do you think your dosha is? And how Ayurveda seeks to balance all three of these doshas really comes down to understanding what each dosha is. So vata governs wind and movement, so it does tend towards dryness. I don't know if you've ever stood in the wind for a long period of time, but feeling the wind on any part of your body for a moment, you will start to dry out. And so the way to balance a vata is moisture and stability. On the fire side, the pitta side, pitta is water and fire, governs metabolism, your digestion, your ability to perceive thoughts and, take in and hold things, understand them. These are very smart individuals. They're usually able to, take information in very quickly. However, on the flip side of things, they tend towards burning. They can be angry people sometimes when they're out of balance, and they generally need cooling activities in order to bring them back into balance. On the kapha side of things, these are water, earth elements. Kapha governs the stability, the structure of our body. It's all the cells, it's what actually houses everything. So like all the bones, ligaments, everything that creates structure within our body is a kapha governing body. These individuals, kaphas, tend to have issues, or their imbalances tend to range on the clogging, stagnation side of things. And so movement and activity, some kind of consistent activity, is the way that a kapha gets back into balance. I mean, my personal story is with tongue scraping. I can't believe I wasn't doing this my entire life. This basically allows you to scrape the white plaque off your tongue and allows you to basically rid yourself of bad breath. And so if you're not doing this yet, get to it. Protect those around you, y'all. So exploring Ayurvedic dietary principles, Ayurveda also uses food to balance these doshas. It literally considers a statement as food is thy medicine. This is because taking in food actually is, most of us eat 3 meals. It takes up a good portion of our day, and it should be treated with respect, like how you eat, what you eat. It all matters, and Ayurveda has, again, tools and techniques on how to do this best based on your unique dosha. Ayurveda also spices and picks ingredients based on your unique doshic balance. So what can make a vata strong could also make a kapha very weak. And the goal with all meals in Ayurveda is for the food to actually fully get digested and be used as materials for your body. Your body is constantly getting rid of old cells, your skin cells, everything. It's constantly dumping old cells, and so you need good nutrients to rebuild that new tissue. Now, herbs, on the other hand, are the little helpers of Ayurveda. They literally come in all different shapes and sizes, and they are there to assist with whatever larger health goal you have. They can affect different body parts, they can be taken in differently, they can be applied externally, internally, and so many different uses, thousands of herbs to talk about. We will discuss them in future videos, do not worry. The other parts of Ayurveda that are a little more subtle are the chakras. I'm sure you've heard that word chakra, and there's a lot of woo-woo around this, but The way that I like to think of it is that they are energy centers that you have within your body, and they are governing different parts of your energy, whether it be your ability to stay grounded, your ability to speak vocally, to project your energy out into the world, whether it be in a room, in an office, on a stage. These are all parts of your chakra system, which is also a huge part of Ayurveda. Now, moving on to the scientific studies around Ayurveda, right? Like, that's what we want to hear. What has science done? And so science in 2014 has done a clinical trial with ashwagandha for individuals dealing with nervous system disorders or anxiety. And they found when treating these individuals with a high dose of ashwagandha against a placebo, the individuals with the ashwagandha actually saw noticeable changes over time with the way that they were able to feel grounded, feel stable, and feel stress-free. And a 2018 study also concluded that Ayurvedic practices, a wide range of them, can also be beneficial to reducing arthritis pain with people having, specifically in the knees, with individuals that might have been dealing with it for years on end. And so 2 studies, I will link them down below if you are curious about reading them yourselves. It is honestly quite amazing and beautiful how science is starting to look at Ayurveda and, you know, question it. It's absolutely miraculous. So is Ayurveda a pseudoscience? Well, weighing out everything that we've learned so far, right? It is a system of medicine that's been around for a really long time. Many millions of people have utilized this system to stay healthy, and so it is tried and true. However, is it a pseudoscience? Like, the definition of pseudoscience is it challenges the scientific method today. And my balanced viewpoint on this is that I would say partially it is, right? The scientific method does not look at chakras. It's not looking at energies and all that stuff. So I would say on the subtler side of Ayurveda, when we're looking at energies, we're looking at the third eye and all these other things that science today just doesn't consider, I would say those parts are probably pseudoscience. However, when looking at the herbs, the diet, the things, the concrete things that you can be doing today, I would say that is laid out in science. There are plenty of studies today that are showing how the food that you put in, the things that you take in through your senses are affecting you 24/7. And that is what Ayurveda is also agreeing with. And so, again, partially pseudoscience, but I would say a good 75% of it is in science. It is rooted in science, and I would say the other 25% is probably bound to, we're about to close that gap as technology gets better. We're able to understand our bodies a little bit more, and I think the beauty is that Eastern and Western medicine are starting to fuse together now instead of fighting each other all the time, because there are tons of things that both of them do very well that if they were to just merge together, I think we would have a very complete healthcare system for the entire planet. So, doesn't that sound beautiful? Honestly, I'm really curious to hear what your thoughts are. I mean, I talked this whole time. Share your thoughts below. Like, do you think it's a pseudoscience? Do you think there's anything in Ayurveda that you could use? What are you curious about learning? I would love to hear your thoughts and give you content that you actually can use and enjoy. Remember to subscribe if you haven't done so. I'm gonna be releasing these videos consistently for you all. I absolutely love talking and connecting with everyone. We got more videos to come. The next few videos are gonna be around tips, tricks, things that you can use along with herb, deep dives, and a whole bunch more. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Remember, the journey is all about curiosity and learning a little bit more about yourself. Let's learn together. Cannot wait to connect with you all some more. Catch you on the next video. Peace.